to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to CTC. I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back with another episode. And today, this week in college basketball for the days between February 16th to today, February 22nd. Now, before we get into that, I will say that yesterday was a stinker for your boy. Probably one of the worst days that I had in this collegiate basketball slate. Went 2-6. Just a bad day, man. For a while, I couldn't even remember the two wins I had. Ended up being UVA and Arkansas, but like I said, man, just not a great day. But we'll move on to some storylines in college basketball, which this episode is about. Storylines in this week of college basketball that is pushing this game forward. And we'll start with Liberty. They had a chance to clinch the Conference USA Championship today. And yesterday, and they lost to Western Kentucky, while Sam Houston did beat Jack State. So Sam Houston still is alive for a share of Conference USA Championship. Liberty just needs to win one game. They're 4 games ahead of Sam Houston right now, with the final game against Sam Houston with 4 games left. Liberty wins the game. They win the number one seed in the Conference USA tournament and the Conference USA Championship. Now, again, winning your conference championship does not equal making the dance. It is just the number one seed in your tournament. You have to win your conference tournament to become an automatic qualifier for the for the NCAA March Madness tournament. Now, obviously, some conferences you win your tournament, i.e. SEC, Big Ten, ACC, Big East. Why am I blanking on another major conference? Big 12. You win those conferences in the regular season, you're automatically going to the dance, but you're not an automatic qualifier if you don't win a tournament. You'll automatically be in more than likely, but you'll probably, if you don't win the tournament, you're going to be an at-large bid. And the smaller conferences, like Conference USA, it's rarity to ever be a at-large bid. So shout out Liberty, though. They did make the tournament last year, and they just need one more win to win their conference championship. Next, Duke upsets Michigan in D.C. They ran away with the game. Not ran away with it, but they pulled away late. They won by like 5, but it was a tight game throughout, and they got some separation a little bit towards the end of the game. Duke is more than likely going to be the number one team in the country come tomorrow around noon, 1 o'clock, with upsetting Michigan, who was number one in the country, and with Houston losing back-to-back games, which was the next storyline. Houston takes back-to-back losses this week. They lose to Iowa State on Monday in Ames, Iowa. And then they lose to Arizona at home. No Cole Pete. They lose to Arizona. So Houston takes back-to-back losses at number 2 in the country. They will probably drop out. They will more than likely drop out the top 5. Arizona bounces back after losing 2 games last week. They win 2 games this week. They beat BYU at home, and then they beat Houston on the road. Now, they probably won't be the number one seed or number one team in the country, excuse me. I believe they have 3 losses. Yeah, they have 3 losses, I believe. while Duke will have 2, and they've beaten Michigan, which they have the head-to-head over Michigan, which Michigan now has 2 losses as well. So I think Duke will be number 1 in the country. Illinois, they blow a 23-point lead to UCLA on the road, which is UCLA's biggest comeback against against an AP top 10 team ever. So that was one of my losses, man. Illinois blew a 23-point lead to UCLA. Donovan Dent goes the full length of the court in 4.9 seconds, really like 4.6, 4.7, and hits a layup in overtime to go up 1 and win the ball game as the buzzer sounds. So after UCLA gets beat by like 30 to Michigan State on the road, they come back from down 23 to beat Illinois. So it is that just be my losses. Like my record start looking too good. That's how my losses come. But anyway, Florida continues dominance in the SEC. Now, funny enough, they did beat South Carolina, obviously, right? But they didn't cover the spread against South Carolina. So who really won? It's Florida. But anyway, and then they blow out Ole Miss by like 19. But Florida is now 2 games in front of Bama in the SEC. So they're well on their way to winning another SEC conference and possibly winning back-to-back SEC tournaments, which they haven't won before Coach Golden, Todd Golden, they haven't won the SEC title since Billy Donovan. Now, Coach Golden is now poised to win back-to-back SEC tournament titles. So shout out to Florida. Clemson suffers another just bad week. They suffer back-to-back L's against Wake Forest on the road and Florida State on the road. Clemson has now lost 4 straight, and they've kind of played themselves out of a chance of the ACC title. Shout out to you, Amanda Carter 335, for tuning in. Hopefully you like what you're listening to. You subscribe, and I appreciate you for commenting. And if you want to, comment your favorite college basketball team or college football or both. But yeah, so Clemson has now lost 4 straight games and, like I said, pretty much played themselves out of an ACC championship. UConn gets upset at home against Creighton. Now, this game was probably, a big one because last year, if you remember, Creighton loses to UConn at home last year, and Coach Hurley comes out and says what he says, like he points to the rings, I own this school, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Then the next game last year, Jemiah Neal dunks the ball down 9 or something like that. I mean, not down 9, up 9, basically like rubs it in that they beat UConn, and it started a little skirmish, and Hurley was upset. And he talked to Coach McDermott, and it caused a little skirmish. But Creighton again upsets UConn in Connecticut. So shout out to Creighton. But UConn then bounces back and beats Villanova on the road to now be a half game behind St. John's for first place. Now, St. John's and Creighton do play each other this coming week, and I will talk about that game when it comes up. But next, Cincinnati has now won 3 straight as they blow out Kansas in Lawrence. So since I think they lost by 29 or something like that I can't remember to who. They've won 3 straight since. So Cincinnati's weird. I said it in the group chat, like in the college basketball chat. They're weird. They're a team that can obviously beat Kansas. They beat Iowa State, but they got some bad losses too. Cincinnati's just a weird team. I just realized my banner never came up. But yeah, so shout out to Cincinnati winning 3 straight. Virginia, they outlast Miami, the Miami Hurricanes, for second place in the ACC. They hit Miami, Malik Reneau hit a reverse layup to tie the game late, but then Miami commits a foul on Mallory from 3. He knocks down all 3 free throws, and Virginia escapes at home against Miami by 3 because of the late game foul by Miami. Vanderbilt, they take back-to-back losses this week. They did welcome back Duke Miles in the lineup. I don't think he started. I think he came off the bench, but they did welcome him back against Tennessee, which they ultimately lost. And then they lost to Mizzou by 1, almost hitting a half-court heave by Tyler Tanner off a steal to win that one, but he missed. But Vanderbilt takes back-to-back L's. San Diego State takes back-to-back L's in a quest to try to overthrow Utah State, who's currently in first place in the Mountain West. They take back-to-back L's to Grand Canyon and Colorado State. So now they're still a game behind Utah State because Utah State took an L to Nevada Saturday night in Nevada. So that's the amount. Oh, and Colorado State has now won 5 straight. They're heating up just like last year. Last year, they ended the season winning the Mountain West Conference tournament, winning 10 straight before they won a conference game. I can't remember who they beat in the tournament. I want to say it was Memphis, if I'm not mistaken. They won in the tournament, and then they lost to Maryland in the second round, but they were hot. They were on a 10-game streak coming into the tournament. So Colorado State is looking to heat up just like last year. There is a 3-team tie amongst the Big West. Hawaii, UC Irvine, and Cal State Northridge has now entered the mix for first place in the Big West for a Big West title. Shout out Larry Hughes Jr. He's on Cal State Northridge. He was formerly of St. Louis University, but shout out to them. Tight race. Interested to see who wins that race and who wins that tournament, because quiet as kept, if UC San Diego can get back to business, UC San Diego could win back-to-back Big West tournaments. But we'll talk about that when that time comes. High Point, they take a commanding lead. Well, they lead by 1 game. I think 2 games now, actually. High Point takes a commanding lead in the Big South after beating Winthrop, who both of them were hot. High Point is currently on a 10-game win streak, if I'm not mistaken. And if they beat Presbyterian on Thursday, they will clinch a Big South title and again be the 1 seed going into the Big South tournament, looking to win another tournament just as they did last season. The Sun Belt race has 7 teams within, 2.5, a game and a half of first place. So that is one of the closest races in the college basketball conference championship race we have right now. So be on the lookout for the Sun Belt tournament, the Sun Belt championship race. Michigan State, they beat UCLA and outlast Ohio State today. So they beat MSU. MSU beats UCLA on Tuesday. They outlast Ohio State today. Now, I will say Ohio State was without John Mobley, who they haven't had in like the last 3-4 games. And Devin Royal, he didn't play today. Now, if Devin Royal and John Mobley play, we probably get spanked. I can't lie. But it is what it is. We won our only meeting against Ohio State this year. Shout out Bruce Thornton. He had a heck of a game. And last but not least, Belmont wins the Missouri Valley Conference Championship and will be the number 1 seed going into the Missouri Valley Conference title. So shout out to them for that. Honorable mention, Wright State had a chance to win the conference, the Horizon League Championship today. They played Robert Morris, and Robert Morris won. So now Wright State needs 1 more win just because they're 2 games in front of Robert Morris to win the Horizon League Championship. So they can clinch that next week. Shout out to Phil Donahue. Wisconsin looking like the Elite 18 for real. Wisconsin's kind of tricky because they do look like they could be anybody in the country, but then they look like they could lose to anybody in the country. Can't post your second comment. I'm gonna just say BTA on Iowa today. I wouldn't call it. They pulled away late. That game was close throughout the entirety of the game. They did pull away late. I think Iowa was even up at halftime. But it was a good game, and y'all did Wisconsin did pull away late. But shout out to you. This is a family show, so we don't curse or anything. So, but shout out to you. Appreciate you commenting. Hopefully, you like, comment, share. And if let me know, is Wisconsin your team? If so, yeah, I put BTA to my boys. But anyway, that is this week in college basketball. That's all storylines I have for y'all this week. Now, next week is some teams' final week. Oh, no, you cool. You cool. It's all good. It is all good. It's Purdue plus 2,800 to win the Big Ten tournament. I'm not betting it, but hey, shout out to you if that's what you mean. Or is that to win the NCAA tournament? Because I'm definitely not betting that. But shout out to you. But you cool, man. You didn't know. It's all good. Oh, yeah, I'm not betting that. You got it. I'm not betting that. I ain't the biggest Purdue fan. You got that one. But I will be back tomorrow. It's 2 games for sure. I know I'm discussing tomorrow. Houston plays not Arizona. Houston plays Kansas. Houston plays Kansas tomorrow at 9:00. And I'm gonna talk about Louisville, North Carolina tomorrow. They play against each other at 7:00. Hopefully, I doubt it though. Caleb Wilson can come back this season. I doubt it, but I want him to come back this season. And Henry Vezar came back yesterday against Syracuse and had the team high 19 points. So shout out to Vazar for that against Syracuse. So shout out to that. But Vazar being back is huge because North Carolina is relying on their front court. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow to discuss those games. Hopefully you like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel and the network. Speaking of the network, we have shows on the network beyond mine. We have the main show featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. They go live Mondays and Thursdays between 7 and 8:30ish. Tomorrow should be an NBA topics. I don't know. I mean, I obviously don't know the topics, but tune in. Then we have Unfazed. Catch them when they go live. Right now, they're on a kind of a, I guess, let them know type basis, but they're moving to basketball as well. I don't know either one. If we want to talk about basketball, well, the Kings. Shout out to Joe's. They're tanking, but AJ, my lord, Lakers fight back. But check them out. We have BWT baseball with Teddy. Spring training has started. Kevin McConaughey, he did hit a single his first at bat. Don't know much more after that. And we got spanked. We lost 20-3. But hey, they some tryhards. They had Aaron Judge and them in the lineup. I don't even know if we had a starter for real in our lineup. But shout out to them. I mean, it's spring training. The World Baseball Classic should be back. Should be in March. So he'll be back to talk about that. We have FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Obviously, the NFL is over. Football season is over. So just stay tuned for whatever content he has for you there. We have RBO, Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn. NBA show. His Magic currently playing right now. He did do a show. I want to say he did a show yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. But he has been doing shows lately, so tap into that. We have Dave's Doghouse, highlights and lowlights of sport. We have Indie Red Corner featuring Tyreek and Tomo, who went live earlier. That's a boxing show. So for all your boxing needs, check out Indie Red Corner. They go live on Sundays, not every Sunday, but when they do go live, it is on Sundays and around 6:30. So check them out. And last but not least, we have Zero Sports with Griffey, which I don't know the schedule for that one, just like I don't know the schedule for Unfazed. But he did drop a episode an hour and a half ago, so make sure y'all check that out and just be on the lookout for that. And that's all the shows we have on the network, so please like, comment, share, subscribe to those as well. If you like what you're listening to, stick with us. And before I go, I just want to say shout out to USA Hockey, man. I saw that they won the gold today against Canada in overtime. I saw that they won the gold for the first time since 1990. So shout out to them for that. But that's all I got for y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'm gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.